get a good night's sleep. Decades of research support the fact that sleep is a critical time when memories consolidate and get stored. And that means missing out on sleep, or high enough quality sleep, can compromise some of those processes. The National Sleep Foundation recommends getting between 7 and 9 hours of sleep each night for optimal health and brain function. 2. Exercise regularly. What is exercise not good for? It's important for your heart, your mood, your sleep, and your mind, particularly the part of your mind involved in memory. In one study in middle-aged women with early signs of memory loss, starting a program of regular aerobic exercise actually increased the size of the hippocampus, a part of the brain known to be involved in the memory storing process, and improved verbal memory and learning scores when the women were tested. 3. Repeat or relearn the information later. Psychologists and others call this one the spacing effect. The idea is that the more you relearn or remind yourself of information again and again spaced out over time, the better you'll retain that information. Perhaps you first learn about an Olympic figure skater's difficult upbringing watching a news clip about his story. Then a day or so later you read an article about that same skater. And then a few days later a coworker starts telling you about the same figure's skater story. Repetition helps make that story stick in your head, and so does the fact that you relearn that information on different days in multiple different settings. 4. Test yourself. People often think testing is useful because it tells you what you know and what you don't. But the more important power of testing is giving you practice retrieving information you've learned and establishing that connection in the brain. For example, in one study that tested a group of students on new information they had learned 1 week earlier, students who were also tested on the new information immediately after learning it outperformed students who were simply instructed to study the information on the test they all took 1 week later. 5. Put the information in your memory palace. Some say this approach dates back to ancient Latin scholars, but it's also been proven in much more recent literature to work. The idea is if you want to remember something, such as a shopping list or a code, you visualize those items or numbers in different rooms of your house or some other physical place you are very familiar with. The memory palace approach, also called the method of loci, has been studied extensively in psychology. Research shows it can be more valuable in terms of remembering than having more intellectual capabilities in the first place, and that it can be more effective for remembering than straightforward repetition and memorization. 6. Use a mnemonic device. It's easier to remember things that relate to knowledge we already have because we connect it to what we already have stored in our memory, Pott says. That's why mnemonic devices work. They create a bridge between two pieces of information.